Welcome to Switch Comics. My name is Marco, and today I have a very exciting update to bring to you, I guess we'll say. So, if you remember, back in April, I made a video where I put up for sale my copy of All New Ghost Rider #1, the 1 in 25 variant, incredibly hard book to find. When I bought it, which was a while back now, even then it was very, very hard to find, despite not really having any spec heat or anything. Since then, it's definitely picked up, and even the A covers have doubled in value, and making this book even harder to find. That being said, even before then, it was very often that you'd look on eBay and you wouldn't even see a single copy up for sale. It's just a time where ratio variants were still pretty new and weren't really in. And it's hard to find certain ratio variants for certain comics and for certain time periods, and this is one of those that it's not a very abundant one. So I put it up for sale. At the time, it was the only one available for sale. And by the way, I put it up for sale. I love this book. It's probably still my favorite book, but I was trying to fund my Journey into Mystery 83. So I was selling a bunch of books, and for kind of a fun science experiment, I was like, I'm going to throw it up on eBay. I'm going to put a crazy price on it, and just let people, shoot me some offers. So I put it up on eBay for $5,000, and I just wanted to see, what people would offer. I thought there was a chance someone might actually spend $1,000 on it, which couple years ago, I think I spent about $200, maybe $225 on my copy. But again, nobody was really looking for it at that time. Since then, I've seen a single 9.6 and a single 9.8. 9.6 sold for I think about $800. 9.8 sold for $1,000. And I haven't seen any other 9.4s. But anyway, so I just, like I said, I threw it up there. I thought it might be fun to do an update video later with here's the offers that I got and stuff. Like, even if I had no intention of selling it, just to see what would happen. And like I said, with that being said, I think I got some really low offers. And it wasn't a lot. I got very, very few offers. I think a lot of people saw it and been like, this nice. Even if they were interested, they're like, this guy's not gonna sell it for a reasonable price. I just wanted to be safe and make sure no one would, if I did put $1,000 on it. Again, I love that book. It is, even though I got my Journey into Mystery 83, that's still probably my favorite book. I'm a huge Ghost Rider fan, and Robbie Reyes, this super hard book to find. This book is harder to find. I kid you not, this book is harder to find than this one. It's not as expensive, sure, but it is harder to find than Journey into Mystery 83 First Appearance Thor. So, that being said, I did this little experiment a while back. I considered it a failure because I got, basically no offers. The few that I did, I think I got some for maybe $400 or something like that. And no way, like I said, I wouldn't even, if I got a legitimate offer of $1,000, I don't know if I'd take it. I more so just wanted to, I was just curious what people would pay for it, because I see people asking about this book often. People have asked me about the book quite often if I would be willing to sell it, and I always tell them no. But then I was like, let's see what they'll offer, and it didn't really work out. However, I may have had unintended consequences, or I don't know. I don't know if this is a good thing. It's a neat thing. I don't. So again, with this book at the time, that was the only one on the market, or on eBay anyway, available for order. I was able to, and that's why I did it. I was able to seize the market on it. I had the only copy, and I was asking a ludicrous amount of money for it. So just the other day, I decided, hey, because I genuinely do. I check up on this book regularly, in hopes that I can buy more copies. Since I bought that one, again, I love that book, and I've always wanted to get more copies, but they're very hard to find. I really wish I bought that 9.8. a while back, but at the time I was like, that's too much money. But anyway, now I would like to bring to you the fact that there are now 4 additional copies on eBay, presumably after seeing my asking price, because now we have an 8.5 at an asking price of $4,000. We have an additional 9.4 at an asking price of about $5,000, so about the same as me, a little bit cheaper, $12 cheaper than me. We have a 9.6 at an asking price of $6,000 and a 9.8 at nearly $10,000. So, inadvertently, I think I may have affected the market. And granted, I will say, disclaimer, and before anyone attacks me, none of these have sold yet. And there are no copies that have sold at a crazy amount. But there's not really any other copies that sold since I've done this experiment either. At least on eBay, I'm not keeping track of everything. But this is interesting, to say the least. I don't think anyone... If I hadn't put that post and put it at that price, I don't think any one of these people either A, would have maybe attempted to put them for sale, or B, if they had put them up for sale, would have been much lower prices. I also will say I've never seen, so including mine, there's 5 up for sale on eBay right now. I have never seen that many at once. The most I've ever seen is 2 up for sale at the same time. And I also do have some more interesting information to really solidify, in case you don't believe me, to solidify the rarity of this book. I checked the CGC census, and when I say checked, I'm not a member, so I talked to a buddy of mine, and he looked it up for me, and he told me the numbers. Now, granted, I wish he had texted me the numbers, so I'd have the exact numbers. But it was from my memory, and again, this was a while back, because that's when I was hoping that this would be a different type of video where I would have been talking about the offers I received, but that didn't happen. There are less than 50 copies of this book graded at CGC, and that is an incredibly low number. My 9.4 is one of 7 9.4s that exist. There's one other one on eBay right now. That is insane. That is crazy how few of that copy exist. Graded, that is. And again, also worth noting, incredibly hard book to get at a high grade, due to, mostly black background, and the top and bottom of the book, and then entirely black cover on the back cover. So it just incredibly hard book to find. And if we do get Robbie Reyes at some point in the movies, it will definitely be a very, very hot book. I think you'll start to see more hit the market, but I think me putting that ridiculous price point on my copy, other people noticed. At least these 4 people noticed it and said, well, I guess it's time that I cash out on this book. You have certain people that hold on to books, and they're like, I'm going to wait until this one hits big. And then I guess they think now's the time, because of my goofy science. So, all jokes aside, I don't know if you would count this as me affecting the market. I think in some way that I did, because if I affected at least the supply, there's, like I said, I've never seen 5 copies for sale before at once. That is insane. And I've been watching this book for a few years now. Never seen more than 2. Now there's 5 on eBay. But then I also jacked up the prices tenfold. I don't even... Like I said, we have a $10,000, about 9.8 on eBay right now. And I've only ever seen one before, and it sold for $1,000. So I don't know. I don't know what to take of this. I'm a little overwhelmed by the fact that I don't know. I just think it's super interesting that me, little old me, was able to do something like this. I will be watching this very vigilantly to see if anything actually sells. I'm very interested in this. I don't intend on selling my copy. Let's say, for example, there's another 9.4 on there. Let's say one sells. That one sells for $4,000. Just saying. I have no intention of selling mine for $4,000. However tempting, that may be, because I've been a hustler since I was little. I always try to make money doing something, and to take a $200 investment and change that into $4,000 is a very tempting sound. But I love that book. I genuinely love that book, and I would be very sad to see it go. And I don't know, but despite that being said, if that book were to sell for $4,000, I would think that would be my credit. Message that guy and be like, "Hey, look, you owe me some money." No, but I think it's really cool. I don't know. And we might eventually get one that sells for a big amount of money. We might get another one that just sells for a normal amount that it had been, which is not really, and that's kind of why I put it up for sale at such a ridiculous number anyway, because that book sells so infrequently and is so so little seen and such high grade that it doesn't really have an average price or normal going price. It it doesn't have stats, more or less consistent stats to look over and make sense of. It's easier for me to find, like I said, the price of this Journey into Mystery rather than to find the price of that book. But I don't know if you have any thoughts, whether you think it's goofy, what you think it's interesting, because I'm kind of in the middle. Like I think this is super goofy and hilarious, but I'm also super excited that I was able to do something on this scale, which I think is a pretty big scale. I think it's something that people don't often have the opportunity. I think you hear a lot of people be like, "Oh yeah, these comic YouTubers are manipulating the market," which I guess I fall in that category now, which is just super funny to me. But they'll talk about a top 10 list and put comics on there that they're trying to sell, which I don't believe. But you'll hear those conspiracies, and sure, it's possible that somebody could do that and try to bump up something, but it would be a little bit. It wouldn't be a huge thing. I think taking a $1,000 comic and making it a $10,000 comic is pretty insane. And I know they're not proven stats. Well, $1,000 is a proven stat, but I've changed at least the available market, and that's pretty dang cool, if I do say so myself. So, but again, whatever your thoughts on it, I would love to hear in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.